If you're watching this early, you're probably a Patreon, and thank you for your kind love and support. I really appreciate you. Lovely person. Right, let's find this stream. Oh, that washing machine.
Can I shut the door?
Yeah, do you mind?
I don't mind.
I'm just too lazy to get up.
Where's in?
Oh, Laura Lily Watts is in the house. First in. Blue Run Vegan. Are you new here? I don't know that I recognise that name, do I? TH101 as usual. Ron Bassett's in the house. Goody. Javier Veles. Is that right? Patty Ridorelli. Honestly, Rosa, our lovely IRL friend. Dominic Duarte Senior's in the house. Little baby sweet potato. Little baby sweet potato. You need to get back to me on a YouTube message for the is it the 50,000 subscriber? Yeah, the 50,000 subscriber video. I messaged you. I don't think you've got back. Well, you might have done, and but I wouldn't have got the notification, and I haven't thought to look. But there's a message for you from me on there, on that video. Go and check it out. There's some good news. There's some good news. Never forget to do facefuls. Good point. Matt Robbins is in the house. Chad Lafferty. Oh, someone overheard me being too lazy to get up and shut the door. Damn it. Well, I've gone back too far now. What is the deal? Why is this in a weird place today?
That is weird.
That's not normally there, is it? Ash G's in the house. Andy Powerhouse, first time here. Good to have you on board, my friend. Are you a person that lifts weights up and down with a view to muscular hypertrophy or strength building? Kyle Jevons, hey dude, I'm wondering if you watch Vegetable Police. Do you know about his recent videos on veganism now working? No, I did not. That's very interesting. Wow, we've got 54 people in the room already. That's very quick.
Nice.
Do tap that like button if you want to. Help get us out to even more peeps. Banana Ants in the house. Oh, Blue Run Vegan's just shy. Not new, just shy. Well, it's good. It's good that you've come out with your shell today. Nice to hear from you. Now and then from Andy Powerhouse. Julian Walters, my IRL friend, is in the house. How you doing, brother? I'm a machine. That's what we used to do. Johnny the Legs, Monge T, Rodney. I won't go and get it. I just bought some Monge tea like 10 minutes ago. Not even joking. Gemma can back me up. Ash G, so how mad we all about meat eaters creating this damn virus? Yeah, a lot of terrible illnesses. HIV, SARS, MARS, LARS. I might have made that one up. Yeah, and it's from a pangolin. I only learned the other day what a pangolin is. They're real cute little critters. I can't believe that people want to eat them. No, we've got this to deal with. ACDC Fan UK is in the house. Good evening. Zane Barnes, what's up, bro? I just had my 1 year vegan anniversary in February. Still getting swole. Going to be an IFBB pro. Nice. That's what we like to hear. Angela Bolton, second Monday in a row I've been able to make the chat. Good to have you back, lovely. Flower Power, what do you think about the coronavirus? Yeah, it's a bit annoying, isn't it? It's a bit annoying. It's a bit of a worry, particularly for like older people or people with compromised immune function, things like that. Or even normal people, you know, you can still just get it, you know, even if you're young with a good immune system, you know, can be unlucky. And, you know, I keep hearing different numbers. I believe the correct percentage of people, like the mortality rate is 3%. And of course, if you're in a group which is at risk, it's going to be nearer the 3%. And if you're younger and fitter and healthier and eating like more whole plant foods and less animal products and processed junk, you're going to be like lower. But even if it's 1%, like that's not great odds, is it? 1 in 100. I don't really like those odds. I mean, I did used to play the lottery, and the odds were 1 in 44 million that you win the jackpot. But like that would be a good thing. If the odds are 1 in 100, and it could be like the worst thing. So I'm going about my daily business. I'm not worrying about it too much. I'm conscious that the vast majority of people are going to contract it, most likely. Whatever things we put in place to try and stop it. Like we're not going to stop it. You might delay it a little bit. And like for one of my clients, one of my online clients, her gym is shut for 2 months now. So I was at the gym today, and normally I take that for granted. I was just really grateful to have a gym to train in, And we're getting lower on beans. We normally eat, I mean, it's a bit naughty really. We should cook our own, but we eat beans, legumes, like lentils, chickpeas out of a can. We're getting low on those. Normally they're everywhere. But because of like this, this potential problem, well, it is a problem for some people, isn't it? Some places in the world. We're not being quarantined here, not just yet anyway. But the canned beans, we can't get enough. Like I eat 3 cans a day. For a delivery from Tesco, you're allowed 2 cans and that's it. So it's a bit annoying for me as a vegan that eats those all the time as my staple, that other people are now like getting them because they're worried. But at the same time, it's nice that, well, maybe they won't be eating quite so many animals. Swings and roundabouts. ADO heads in the house. Little baby sweet potato got my message. Very good. Cruelty-free. Coronavirus is engineered for sure. My understanding is that the scientific consensus is that it was transmitted from a bat to a pangolin to a human. So you will need to provide evidence to back that up. Or it's just words. You could be right. What do I know? Jill Woolley's in the house. Ron Bassett's being quite inappropriate, but I like your style. Maisie Max is off. They need to study. Right back at you if you're still in the room. Seeing through. Got a tablet for your chat. That way you can chill on the couch. I don't know. I quite like sitting on the floor, really. I don't know why. Peter Basil, is there a minimum fat percentage needed to build muscle? Do you mean in terms of body fat or dietary fat? And I don't really know. I don't know that the science would have been done particularly. Yeah, I think just in terms of dietary fat, there'll be some fat-soluble nutrients that you're probably going to need, really. But it's probably not half as much fat as most people ingest. And we know that like a higher carb, low-fat, whole foods, plant-based diet can prevent, treat and reverse 14 of the 15 leading killers. Reverses heart disease, our #1 killer. But, the people who are doing that, like Caldwell Esselstyn, they say no more than 11% of your total calories from fat, which is not total calories, total percentage of macros, sorry. That's pretty low. That's pretty low. That's not a lot. It's quite hard to do. Once you add like a tablespoon of flax or chia, or maybe you have 1 to 3 of those, like if you go nearer 3, that might be your total calories for some people. And of course you want some omega-6 as well. So you really want a little other nuts and seeds, so that's kind of in balance. If not, I mean, I know omega-6 is pro-inflammatory, but you don't want to be nearly said that wrong. You don't want to be skewed the wrong way and have, too little omega-6, because we do need to make inflammation sometimes. It is an essential fatty acid. We do need to eat it in order to be healthful, so don't go too low. Peter Goodwin, need an award for the most lovable vegan. Your quid's in. My Nice, lovable vegan. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like you. Zane Barnes, do you smoke pot? No, but if I did, I don't think I'd say on here due to YouTube being funny. I might be wrong. They might be all right with it. Yeah, I mean, the health consequences are a bit, who knows? It's a bit of a mixed bag. I know that Dr. Michael Greger recently said that there doesn't seem to be a raised risk for lung cancer, but you would think like smoke, like in your mouth and, you know, esophagus, like are you raising the risk for esophageal cancers, things like that. I believe there are 30 odd carcinogenic compounds caused by smoking. So if you were going to have it, I would say maybe health-wise, like an edible would be better. But then like you've probably got to cook it in oil, haven't you? Or even worse, butter. So that's not going to be good from that perspective. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know enough about it to give a perspective, really, to be honest. So there's a lot worse things, I know that. Adventures of Kate to the rescues in the house. Dominic, so is this a Q&A or was there a major topic? I don't know. We normally do like just a free-for-all because like normally, you know, there's not enough interest in one topic for it just to be about that. I'm down for whatever though. You know, if you want to do a specific topic, guys, just say. Else we just carry on as normal. Karen Lovigan's in the house with a cool surname. The L's are not what they seem. Hey, Hench Herbivore, I've been whole foods plant-based. Oh, with an H. That should be a W. That whole foods plant-based means you're eating polos and donuts and
Donut holes, is it?
yeah, and Cheerios for 1 year next week. Nice. I've lost 5 stone and have overhauled my health. Thanks in part to you and Gemma's inspirations. Thank you for saying that. And I'm sorry that I was cheeky now. Oh, that's awesome. Well done, my friend. And nice to hear. Thanks for telling us. TH101 started on poppy staple spinach. No negative effects. I know it gets a bad rap. What's your take? Don't have more than like about a cup a day and preferably cooked. It's got about 100 times the oxalates of most other foods. There's oxalates in like probably, I don't know if it's half of vegan whole food. There's oxalates in a lot of things, a hell of a lot of things. But beet greens, spinach and chards, you've got like rainbow chard, silver chard, all these different dark leafies. They are so much higher. So in particular if they're not cooked, like you can have so much. Thank you, little baby sweet potato. I'm glad to hear it. And your prize will be winging its way to you shortly. Oh, I guess I can say no. But little baby sweet potato won the Vivo Life competition. So she's getting some lovely things. The protein, the Sustain pre-workout and the creatine. So shall we have a round of applause for little baby sweet potato? She is the winner.
To you about winning the CBD products yet?
No.
Ah.
I made a note of the names so that if I see him in the chat, got that name there. Right. Where were we? Andy Powerhouse. Everyone so far slating YouTube live events are gonna go through the roof. I went porn. Yeah, so Vegan Life Live got cancelled this weekend. We were going to go to that, or we were hoping to, in London, but that got cancelled. But luckily, there was a festival on at Colchester, and that was pretty good. Met a few of you lovely supporters there. There's one little girl, 12-year-old vegan, she's called on Instagram, all with underscores in between, so spaces. She was so lovely, and she wanted a photo, and she's doing outreach, like she's doing Keep a Truth and all that. What a girl, you know. And my hat's off to her, and it makes me feel, hopeful for the future that this is the next generation of activists, and they're getting started at 12 years old. Like, that's so cool. Right, has this jumped? Yeah, this has jumped. I'm going to skip forwards a little bit, so I'm not miles back in the chat. If I miss your comment or question, do pop it down again. ACDC fan, when is your next Ferridge critique video coming out? Just as soon as he does something which I think is like funny and worth laughing at, or if more evidence comes out about his stabbiness, something like that. Rasil, have you ever seen Wuhan Animal Market? It's pretty scary. Yeah, they got all the live animals next to all the corpses, haven't they, and stuff. So that's probably not good in terms of hygiene. Peter Bassel, yes, I've been close to 80-10-10 for almost 2 years. We can get lots of omega-3, 3-6 has been 1-to-1 or better. Nice. Melted drop systolic down to 96. That's huge. I think, is that where mine is at? Or was that yours?
Mine was in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, mine was 106. Gemma's, I think, was 96. No further benefit below 110. So if you've got 110 or lower, brilliant. It's only too low if you're symptomatic, if you're like dizzy and stuff, and not because you're under eating calories, just like your blood pressure's too low, then you could need to look at that. But probably it just means that you're really, really healthy. The healthiest people in the world, like there's these tribes, I forget who they are and where they are in the world, but this particular tribe, they eat whole foods, they don't have salt, and they're born with a systolic of 90, and they die with a systolic of 90. So that just goes to show. I thought I saw some super chats. I did see a puddy tat. Sorrelella, you lovely lady, £2 on the super chat. Oh, and there's a little, is he a cat or a fox? I'm going to say he's a cat. Yeah, the tail don't look bushy, I don't think. Ah, that's lovely. Thank you so much supporting our work here on the tubes. And Laura Lily Watts kindly donating 79 UK pence. Brilliant. You lovely people supporting what I'm doing because you love animals. That's you're great people. You're really great people. Right. Peter Bassel, salt seems to get into my diet from time to time. It's amazing how much water it put on. Okay, that's interesting. Steve Priest, dry beans were on sale some time ago. Got enough to last for months. Very wise. And I have 13 different types of dry legumes. Looks like 13 is my lucky number. Yeah, that sounds pretty lucky to me. Matt Robbins, if I can't get to the gym during closing for the virus, will bodyweight workouts help to maintain strength? To a small, if you're incredibly strong with like squats, deads, benches, then it's not going to do a whole lot. It's better than nothing. You know, for mere mortals, like you can get a decent workout, you know, so it depends where you are on the continuum, really. I just saw another super chat. Ruba in the Sky kindly donated €1.49. What have you got there? Is that a little, what are they called? I don't even know that film. Minions. Is that a minion? Nice little banana peel sticker. Nice. Mind you don't slip on that. By the way, you know this sort of thing that banana peels are really slippery. That comes, if you didn't know, from cinema from years ago. New York streets, like there was a lot of horses, a lot of poop. Everyone used to slip over in poo, but they thought that was a bit lowbrow for cinema, so they replaced it with banana skins.
I did not know that. I don't think
That is our fact of the day. Oh, Ron Bassett kindly donated £2 UK. Love you, man. Love you too. No questions, just supporting his local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber on his mission. I really appreciate you, my friend. David Gray, I'm thinking about rescuing a cat. Would it be hypocritical of me to feed it meat? Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. We went through this. I've done a video on vegan cat food. Most cats get on fine with the complete vegan cat food. We use Benevo, but I understand why some people wouldn't want to go that route because it's not their whole foods natural diet. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. It's a bit of a funny one. We won't have cats going forwards, but we would have you know, goats or some sort of vegan animal and take care of them. But as long as we've got like plenty of space and they can be, you know, social, they've got friends and all that sort of thing. it's a bit of a funny one. I don't really want to pass judgment, and you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. I can't do it anymore personally, but you know, we're all individuals, and a lot of people will. And I'm the first. I'm the first to point out my own hypocrisy. That as a nutritionist, I promote a whole foods, plant-based diet. What I believe and what is, if you look at the science, a species-specific diet for humans. And then this cat that I have in my care, and I got her before I was vegan. But now feeding her something that's not her natural diet. It is processed. We looked at all the science. We spoke to a lot of people who keep vegan cats, and they seem to do just fine. But I recognise my hypocrisy, so I'm not gonna point a finger at anyone and judge anyone. Who are you? Who are you? Love on you, Paul. Thanks for being such an inspiration. Thank you. I'm getting so many kind comments today. Robert Pacino's in the house, my good friend. You're great too. Thanks for joining. Jill Woolley, my zero waste shop had everything dried version that I could get in the supermarket. Nice. Have you been into Ethical Earlies lately?
Yeah, they had a decent amount of stuff the last time I went.
We've got 2 zero waste shops in Norwich, one each sort of side of the sort of city centre. We're really lucky.
Someone had a good point a minute ago. They said go to like Asian supermarkets for beans, canned beans.
Yeah, Asian supermarkets are brilliant.
And they're not. There's no limit on how many you can buy.
Excuse me. Entertainment. What is the best B12? The jury's out, really. Dr. Michael Greger recommends that, and he looks at all the data. He recommends the cyanocobalamin, like the basic version, which is the cheapest, because in one study, one man couldn't absorb the methylcobalamin, like the sort of usable version. So we have to methylate cyanocobalamin into methylcobalamin. It didn't work for him, so he needed cyanocobalamin. However, like that is one person. That seems a bit odd to me. Some people don't methylate. You'd know if that was you, because you'd have to do the same thing with folate as well. So you'd be really sick, and you'd know that you had this particular condition. What is it called? Methyl MTHR, methyl tetrahydra reductase. Anyway, you basically you can't methylate. So so in that case, you'd need the other one. But now there's another one called what is the one we have in the tincture? Adeno. Adenosyl. I think it's called adenosylcobalamin, and some other people are saying, no, this is the really good one, and that one is stacked with methylcobalamin. So I don't know. I've tried them all, and I've used them all at different times. I did a course of injectables just because someone gave me some, but then I read some science saying that injectables possibly are not as good as like a tincture or a sublingual, which sort of goes against common sense. Methylene tetrahydrofolate reductase, that's the one. Thank you, Rasul. I don't know why I groped around for that for so long. I knew I wouldn't remember the whole thing in one go. So yeah, the jury's out, entertainment, really. The jury's out. In an ideal world, you'd run some bloods and see sort of what works for you, really. Ian, where's that jump to? Bizzotti, what is your favourite crime? Treason. I don't know, really. I think anything where, do you know what I mean? There's so many stupid laws that don't deserve to be laws. I think in like the odd state, like homosexuality is like illegal, or like like sodomy is, or just some places that are really behind the times. And yeah, those laws need to be broken, you know, by people who, you know, just certain natural things like are illegal that we maybe want to experiment with on our own bodies, and that's like illegal, but yet it grows from the ground. And then other things that the government can tax, which are definitely like many times more harmful, like that's fine. Like just things like that really grind my gears. Did I say all of that okay without incriminating myself?
I believe you did. Well done.
What's your favourite crime? That is the best question I've ever been asked on it. What's your favourite crime? I'm going to have to think about that because I'm sure I could come up with something better. Perpetually Annoyed is in the house. Hey, dude. Thanks for joining. Shirokage. That's a Japanese name. Shirokage. Oh, we've got a super chat. Let me just speak to Shirokage. Hey. Whole Foods, plant-based diet and Corona beer is the best diet right now. Take care. As long as it's not infected with the Corona beer virus. Oh, cheeky vegan, you lovely person, kindly donated a huge £9 UK, 99 UK pence. And there's is that a pear or an avocado? Have we decided on this yet?
No.
I think it's a pear because like normally with an avocado, you don't get the stalk in the top, do you? So I'm going to say that's a pear. And it's a little thank you. And thank you as well, supporting what I'm doing. You know, until a while ago, I spent most of my days in the gym shouting numbers at people while they puffed and panted and tried to build muscles, which was all right. It's a great job to have, and you help people to realise their dreams and, you know, health and fitness, like, benefits. But doing this, I can reach, like, millions, you know, and hopefully change the world for the better and redeem myself for my past transgressions when I didn't know we didn't need to eat animals. So, and you're really helping me to do that. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, have I, cheeky vegan? Where are you? What are you up to? I like to find out about them. Thank you so much. Emily Palmer, do you think it'll be more difficult to eat whole food during this time? No, I don't think so. I mean, we got a veg box delivery the other day. But we forgot that was coming, and we were late back, and they left it on our doorstep. And we live in like not the greatest like area, like it's not like an affluent area, and but we didn't really worry too much rushing back. We just said to each other, "Oh, who's going to steal a load of vegetables where we live?" Yeah, I think it's easy enough. There's so much dried goods that you can stock. I can't see that we're going to run out of that sort of stuff because most people don't want it anyway. Yeah, it might be hard to eat like optimally, but I think like that's the sort of stuff that you can get loads of, you know, and it doesn't go off, like, you know, all your dried grains, your legumes, you know, all stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not too concerned. Is this charging up or what? Benjamin's saying it's not a yoke. It's not a joke. Yep, I should respect and not compare idiots with. All right, I don't think that's for me. Nathan Kennedy, COVID-19. Yes, that's a thing. That is definitely a thing.
It's got to be the most talked about thing.
Yeah.
In the world currently.
We didn't really worry about it, did we? And we weren't really looking at anything, and you know, we don't watch TV and whatever. Like we just didn't think it was much of anything really.
We're a bit late to the party.
And now everyone's stocking up on stuff, and you know, I can't get enough can of beans. Is what I want. But I'll just get dried instead. Robert Pacino, the vegan zombie has videos about vegan dog food. Apparently, Vegan food is way better for dogs. The longest lived dog until fairly recently, or recent years, was a border collie bitch named Bramble. She lived to about 25 or something. And there's a book by Anne Heritage, her owner, Bramble, the dog who wanted to live forever. And it details her whole foods plant-based diet. And Bramble is still in her freezer should anyone ever want to do like biopsies or whatever on her, which I find quite macabre. Tiggy Mickler, my old friend, kindly donated €5. Any way to crisp up sweet potato wedges or fries? They just seem to blacken but stay soft.
In the oven, they go so squidgy and excuse my language, rubbish. Air fryer.
Air fryers, yeah.
It's the only way they've ever gone nice for us.
Get yourself an air fryer. Best investment you'll make. You'll love them. And thank you so much for your kind support. That's huge. I'll tell you another thing you can do is to steam chipped potatoes for like 10 minutes. And then oftentimes that makes them fluffy inside and you can crisp up the outside. But it's just a little extra effort that we don't tend to bother going to, do we?
No.
We always used to do it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron Ranchard, will veganism cure my baldness and make my hair grow back? I don't know that that's kind of reversible once that's happened, I'm afraid. But probably the more nutrient dense your diet is, like the more it would help you to retain that kind of thing. Breast Calofrio says they are omnivores. I guess you're talking about dogs. And as I say, until recent years, the longest lived dog, she's in the Guinness Book of Records, was vegan. So I guess that at least the majority of dogs are facultative omnivores. So facultative means an animal that can choose to eat either or, but it's not forced to. It won't affect their health if they want to eat meat. Or you've got obligate omnivores who do have to eat some meat to get certain nutrients in. So I guess at least the majority of them would be facultative. Probably like the nearer you get to a wolf, I can see like maybe like that's different. I don't know enough about it to say for sure, but that wouldn't surprise me. But the longest lived dog until recent years ate whole plant food, so they're obviously not all obligate omnivores. Chris Grant's in the house. Am I very far behind? I'm not too far behind. I'll just try and look more for questions now rather than read everyone's comment, so I keep up. Nick Linfield, hi Hench, heard you mention on your Instagram story about recommending getting a water filter. Why is this? Check out my video entitled the number one thing for Gemma will put it in there in the chat, but basically the main thing is that the gut microbiome, we need these healthful Prevotella strains of bacteria to thrive in our colon. If we're drinking tap water, that has chloride, which is in there for the express purpose of killing bacteria, and that just shatters your potential for good physical and mental health, believe it or not. These short chain fatty acids that they produce, they modulate several physical systems in the body. They also are the substrate from which we build 95% of our monoamines, so serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, like our feel-good hormones, are made from fibre, from these good bacteria. So number one, we need to be eating a lot of whole plant foods. Number two, we need to not be killing them with tap water, alcohol, SLS in toothpaste. If you're not rinsing your crockery and cutlery well and you've got antibacterials in that, we can be decimating our gut microbiome. That's the linchpin. That is the cornerstone of our potential for good overall health. We've been studying this since 2006. Yeah, that's the one. Gemma's going to pop it in the chat now. Okay, and thanks for following me on the Instagram. Do feel free to follow me there, guys. I do a lot on the old Instagrams. Trying to grow that as well. Do a lot of stories and good posts regularly. Marcel Nagy's in the house in Berlin. Thanks for joining. Gibson Rocker. My dog has been vegan for over 2 years now. He's a 15-year-old German Shepherd and doing way better. My vet said like a completely different dog. Interesting. Probably snot pills. How about steam the sweet potatoes and then keep them in the fridge and then baking them? Sounds nice.
Don't forget to tell everyone you've got a premiere at 7.
I've got a premiere at 7. It's a great video. Do stay for that. I'll be watching and taking names of people who don't stay, and I'm going to tell you off on Friday's stream. Spoopy boy, what are your thoughts on Greta Thunberg? What an amazing girl! What an amazing girl! Like having to tell adults like the score, like tell off politicians. I think she's amazing. I can't speak highly enough of her. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. I think she's just telling the truth, getting up there, stepping up, speaking up with no fear, just telling adults off. Brilliant. I love her passion. Stefan, hi Hench, what are your thoughts on taking algae-based DHA supplements? Yeah, so there's a lot of controversy over that now. I for myself and for my clients, I'm recommending 250 milligrams of a combined EPA DHA daily, and that offsets. There's some benefit that pescatarians have over vegans. If not, I think it's in terms of, it's not heart health, so it must be brain health. However, there is a bit of a connection with higher DHA and some forms of cancer. But I don't know like what the total cancer risk was, and it was like something like 13% more risk, which isn't a lot. So 13% of, say 0.00001. Well, it's not much of a worry, but I don't know what the total risk was. But I do know that some people, they can't convert EPA into DHA, ALA into EPA onto DHA. And perhaps they lack the elongase enzyme required to do it, maybe a genetic defect. There's many reasons why some people do need a direct source, and you wouldn't necessarily know whether you had that as a problem or not. And it could be some real horrible, terrible, irreversible harm. So, I'm keeping it in for now. But I'm certainly not going above that 250 milligrams a day just to, optimize my safety. Emily Palmer, do you think you'll ever have little Hench Herbivore babies? Not the way we do it. You can take from that what you will. No, we're not keen just because of the state of the world, and we're quite stingy with our time. I wasn't going to say we're stingy with our time and resources. We're now going to donate a load of money to someone because they're in a bad way and we just want to help them out. So we're not stingy with our resources, but it's
like our current life.
We like our current lifestyle, and it's a lot of work. We are conscious maybe we're missing out, and maybe we could potentially regret it. But then again, you don't know how your child's going to turn out, and they might hate you, and you might go through all that hardship for no benefit. Just worried about the state of the world. And we love our cat so much. I can't imagine loving someone more than that, and I think it would be dangerous. I think if I was to have a little girl or something, I'd be one of those terrible fathers who would just terrify all their boyfriends and make them not want to date her. So I think it's best for all concerned if we don't have them. Some kids are really lovely, and I like spending some time with them. But it's nice to be able to sort of give them back, and you're not got to put up with the negatives of it. Comment in the chat. How many of you have got kids, and how many of you would never change it? I'm interested. I'm sure there's a lot of good to be had too. Entertainment. What meal do you eat most? What meal do I eat most? I rotate my foods a lot. I suppose the meal that I eat most is at breakfast. Normally I have a smoothie. Occasionally I'll have porridge. It's the same ingredients. It's oats, dates, some sort of berry normally, or maybe a tropical fruit or something. But normally a berry, ground flax, ground chia, a scoop of Viva Life protein powder, link in the description. Give it. And so that's the one I eat the most. But in terms of other meals, I rotate the type of meals, and I rotate the type of foods that I have. I'll have a legume, I'll have a whole grain, I'll have a range of vegetables, little fruit, little nuts and seeds. But which ones of those they are will rotate very, very regularly. The biggest predictor of as I alluded to earlier, the biggest predictor of your health potential is the health of your gut microbiome. So the bacteria that we've invited to live in the colon, predicated on the foods we eat. And the biggest predictor of your gut health is the range of whole plant foods that you eat. So, so mix them up. Stick to whole plant foods, eat as many different ones as possible, and that's the greatest health potential you can ever have. I just saw my IRL friend, Mikey Bowen, come in the room. Hello, my friend. You're big and ripped. Thanks. I got them goddamn cobra traps. Good old Mikey. He's good stuff. I'm going to skip forwards, guys. If I miss your comment or question, do pop it back in the chat. Oh, I'm just seeing some things about kids.
Loads of comments about kids.
I have a daughter, agree with you. It's a nightmare. 2 kids, 32. Suicidal sock. Yeah, that sort of says it all, really, doesn't it? Cheeky vegan will never have kids. Linda Patterson's in the house. The one above all pet animals greater than babies. Marcel's not up for it, although I can't repeat those words in the stream. Honestly, Rose, I don't know if it's a good idea to have kids in the future for me. Perpetually annoyed, have one kid, he's grown, and a Jack. We'll do it again. You're just a glutton for punishment. Chris Grant, no kids. Or what if I found someone who wanted kids? Maybe not many, just 1 or 2. TH21, I've got an 8-year-old daughter, didn't want kids. Best thing that's happened to me. Nice. Patty Ridderelli, 4 kids, would never change it. Nice. Yeah. I'm just going to skip forward a little bit, just so I get more questions in, rather than just saying too many comments out. Tiki Mikla, I don't understand your reason of not wanting to bring a child into a harsh world. Your potential child would be one of the people responsible for making it better. Yeah, there is that argument. TH101, my daughter's going to be my spotter. Nice. The one above all, it's got a great question. Amla or ashwagandha? So amla is the most antioxidant-rich food in the world. I use the term food loosely. It's a spice. Actually, it's dried Indian gooseberry, and it tastes like, I don't know if you guys have ever licked the end of a 9-volt battery, but that's the sort of level of taste enjoy. It's rank. It's horrible. It's really minging. It's inedible. But I'll put it in a big like smoothie or in my podge, stir it in. Got lots of sweet fruits, so I don't taste it. So that's the way to deal with that. Real high in vitamin C. As I say, most antioxidants that you can get. So it's great. And then ashwagandha is like an adaptogen, so it can help to balance your hormones out. They're both really great. If I had to pick one over the other, I'd probably go with the amla, just because it's so powerful in terms of antioxidants. You do like a huge 2-litre smoothie and put in whatever you want, like green tea leaves, blueberries, blackberries, acai, leafy greens, like any high antioxidant food that you want to put it in there, And I'll pretty much guarantee you that that little teaspoon of almond has got more antioxidants than the rest of the smoothie all put together. So I think that's pretty mad. But ashwagandha, great too. Yeah, really great. So, yeah. Good question. Applejar, hi Hench, I've been told normal white potatoes have some negative anti-nutritional properties, even if just steamed. Thoughts? Also, what do you think of the JFK assassination? Love from Oz. I don't really know anything about the JFK assassination, so I'll deal with that one first. I don't have a perspective because it's not something I've looked into. White potatoes have some negative nutritional properties. Anti-nutritional. I don't think, the only thing I could think that someone would be talking about there would be nightshades. It's a nightshade. A lot of people don't realise that, you know, same as tomatoes, peppers, sweet and hot peppers, aubergine. What else is a nightshade? Gooseberries are a nightshade.
You said that. Red pepper.
Yeah,
Peppers.
yeah, I said those.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh, so there's something, tomatillo, is it? I think that's a nightshade. I don't know that that's an anti-nutrient as such, but in one in 20 people have an intolerance to nightshades, so that you could feel some negative effects in your body. Cayenne as well, yeah, very true. That's like a sort of pepper, isn't it? So yeah. Yeah, so that's all I could think of really. I think they're all right. A lot of people really poo-poo them. Yeah, they've got some reasonable nutrition in it. They're not as nutritious as like a sweet potato, but I really prefer a white potato for the taste, but I do like to consider my nutrition. So oftentimes I'll put in like 50-50. I'll have some white potatoes, but I'll have some sweet potatoes as well, and I find I enjoy my food like that. And I know I'm getting like vitamin E, like for a lower fat whole foods vegan, vitamin E can be a bit of an issue. Sweet potato is great. It's a high carb food that's high in vitamin E, so that's great. A lot more potassium, but yeah, I think potatoes are all right, and I think they're wrongly accused of not being great. I think if someone is on a really small amount of calories, then I can see some reason to say, no, I would skip those and I'd go with like a sweet potato or something like that. But for someone on a moderate amount of calories, eating that range of whole plant foods, it's not something I avoid anyway. Yeah, I'm going to skip forwards again because I'm getting well behind. So do pop your comment or question back in if you want to. Suicidal sock, do you think naked raw fruit bars are okay? I think they used to be great, and then they got bought out, and now they do have some sort of flavour, and it says like natural flavouring. Well, that can be beaver butt juice for one thing. I'm not even joking. There's like a gland secretion that comes from beavers that they use for vanilla. Not saying that they use that, but you don't know what they're using, and it could be unhealthful. So I'll say now, not as good as they used to be. Not as good as they used to be.
Flavours that don't have like natural flavourings in, so I opt for
Yeah.
those ones rather than the fancy.
Yeah, it'd have to be a
flavours.
pretty plain one, but they do taste delicious. So, but yeah, not so good now. Probably there's some negative to the gut microbiome there by now. I remember Dr. Bolshevitz, called Dr. B. What is he on Instagram? The gut health MD, I think. And he was really poo-pooing them because of this particular like additive that they now have, which was a shame because I found them a good way to get a good whack of calories in when I'm on a bulk, and they're tasty. So, Chef's father, you lovely person, kindly donated $1.99. Thoughts on whole foods diet versus coronavirus? You know, nothing's going to make you bulletproof, but the more whole plant foods you eat, you know, the more nutrients you're going to have, you know, the more antioxidants and things. So it's got to be better. It's got to be better. the younger you are to a point, I mean, really like young kids like might have a problem as well, but like fairly young people, like the younger to a point, the better. Like the better the state of the immune system. So eating more whole plant foods and less of other things. The greater your potential to cope. So, yep. And of course, if people didn't eat animals, there wouldn't be a coronavirus. Think on, you non-vegans, you. Got my eye on you. Why I order? The one above all, you and Vegan Gains should do a collab exposing Frank Tofano. There's clips of him saying he doesn't like gay people and wants to deport them. He's a funny boy, isn't he? Randy Hollier, is fasting healthy, I guess you meant to say. It depends like how long term you mean. So in terms of like intermittent fasting, I don't think there's any benefits to be had for muscle gain or fat loss. I think it's just a diet adherence thing. So it's easier to stick to, but according to the science, to my knowledge, there's no metabolic benefits. But in terms of health, like preventing cancer, things like that, when we don't take in calories for a while, the body then looks inwards and starts sort of cleaning house. And there is a lot of health benefits to be had from fasting. Not for me, because I need to eat such a volume of whole plant foods that it just wouldn't work. But we probably ought to be fasting a little bit on occasion. Long term, definitely not, unless you've got a really serious illness that's going to benefit from it, and then you need to have that done under medical supervision. The True North Clinic in Santa Rosa is great for that. Gemma went there. But if you're not feeding your gut, keep coming back to this, don't we? The gut microbiome, these Prevotella strains of bacteria. If we're not feeding them, they're going to be dying off. And it just ruins your potential for good health, basically. Yep. Andy Power has, I've tried a vegan plant-based diet for 6 weeks, lost a liver a stone, but got a few stomach pains and gassy. Yeah, and again, getting back to the gut microbiome, particularly if you did that in one go. So you've been feeding like pathogenic strains of bacteria, with animal products, perhaps processed plant foods. And then if you suddenly bung in a load of fibre-rich foods, you've not got enough bacteria to process it. So, it's all going to go a bit wrong. And so really the thing to do, if it's too much of a problem, you really want to put some of your older foods back in, take out some of the healthier foods, and then just week by week by week by week, a little bit of more of the whole plant foods, a little less of the animal products and processed plant foods. And then that way your gut microbiome has time to shift over, and then you'll be Prevotella strain dominant. And then they cope with fibre. They eat fibre for breakfast, and lunch and dinner. And good on you for giving it a go, my friend. Good on you. The one above all, should I mix creatine with my beetroot almond juice? Yep, fine. Marcel Nagy, using tap water for plants. Good question. I guess more if you're eating them, that it could be a potential thing. I don't know how they take up chloride, but I know that it is a very small molecule, so a lot of filters don't cope with it. You need specialised filters because the molecules are so small. So if anything, maybe would plants be more likely to be able to uptake that? I don't know. I'm no botanist, but that is something to consider. Yeah, I've not thought of that. Interesting. Vegato Blue brings up a good point. Animals are full of antibiotics. Yeah, so if you're eating them, so not only like by eating animal products, you're kind of either one way or the other in terms of a gut microbiome. You're either Prevotella dominant, like the good strains, or you're Bacteroides dominant, the bad strains, because if you're eating a small amount of whole plant foods, but you're eating lots of animal products, processed junk, you're feeding these Bacteroides strains, and they create a alkaline environment. They create an alkaline environment. You actually want your colon to be acidic, believe it or not. You want the rest of your body to be slightly, your blood should be slightly alkaline to be healthy, but actually your colon should be an acid environment. Bacteroides can't live in an acid environment. So if you're eating the vast majority of your foods as whole plant foods, you're not really going to have these pathogenic strains. And again, as I keep going back to, this is the bedrock. This is the key to good health, is what type of bacteria have we invited to live in the colon. So that's really important. So yeah, not only if you're eating animal products, you're feeding bad bacteria, starving good bacteria, but the antibiotics will be killing the good bacteria. You won't have antibiotics, it can change you forever, like for the worse. You've selected for antibiotic resistant strains to thrive, and you've killed off the other ones. Now you've changed your gut microbiome for years or potentially forever. You may never get it back as good as how you had it beforehand. Sometimes we need antibiotics, of course, and in those times we must take them. And it's extended human life by about 10 years, since we first invented them. So, they're not a bad thing in and of themselves, but they're very overprescribed. They're only good against bacteria. So a lot of people go to the doctors with a virus, and they lay it on so thick. I think in the past, doctors weren't even all that clued up. And oftentimes, we used to be overprescribed with antibiotics.
Your Premier started. You've had a super chat.
Oh!
If you want to answer that.
Oh! We better answer the super chat. Then I better go for the premiere of my new video. I need you to all watch it because it sends a good message to the YouTube algorithm. But Chef's father kindly donated $1.99. You still do one-to-one nutrition interested? Yeah, so I do Skype consultations, £100 for up to an hour. And I do nutrition plans for £40 or a nutrition plan with a workout plan for £60. If you email me at henchherbivore@yahoo.co.uk, I'll ping you all the details over so you can see how it works, and along with a questionnaire in case you decide to go ahead. So thanks for that. And I'd love to work with you. Right, please, can you go to my new video right now and leave a comment or whatever and like it and share it and snog it. It all helps the YouTube algorithm. Goji Man's in the house, so do subscribe to him as well if you haven't already. But go to my video first. Love you, Goj. But we're off. See you Friday, 6 p.m. GMT. It wasn't anything you said, Simon, I swear. For you're just a bit smelly. You're lovely. I forgot what I was saying now. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for our lovely, you don't smell, wrench-wielding moderators. I really appreciate you all. And hope to see you Friday. Watch my video now. Please watch my video. It's only 3 minutes, and help your local neighbourhood YouTuber to reach more people. So goodbye.